What's up, Savages? It's Tuesday, February 19th, 2019. Let's get it. Welcome to the RandomCoin Mining Show, where we mine a different GPU mineable coin every weeknight at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What is this frame doing up there? Whatever. I'll have to look at that. Good grief. If you like crypto mining video content like this, be sure to subscribe to the SavageMine YouTube channel. I've been like all out of sorts lately. And if you want random crypto thoughts and updates, and such, you can follow me on Twitter as well. You should follow me over there because I add a whole lot of value to the space. And of course, I'm just kidding, but I do talk about things over there. I talk about crypto, and I also keep updates on, what's going on the channel, whether or not I'm going to be live, and announcements and things like that. So before we get started, be sure to nuke the like button, hit subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss anything in the future. And if you share the channel with your friends to help spread the word, and also share the channel with your friends to help spread the word and keep the channel going, it does help in a lot of different ways that most viewers and subscribers just don't really realize. It does help in the long run, so I would appreciate that a lot. Also, I'd like to give a shout out over to the Technicals, Matt at the Technicals. See if I can find his site here, or his page. Where is it at? There it is. He's focusing mainly right now. He's focusing on FPGAs and a little bit of comedy. So he's doing a really cool stuff over there. You should really get over there and check him out. He's super cool. Main focus is FPGAs, and he's adding a little bit of comedy in there as well, so it's funny. Anyway, so that's my shout out. I'll drop a link to his channel down below as well. You can kind of see it right here also, although it's kind of hard to copy that. You have to write it down and stuff, but you could search for the Technicals. There is a space in there though. If you search for the Technicals, all one word, it probably will come up with somebody with 2 subscribers, and I can assure you that's not the right one, because he has like 10,500 or so. So in this show, we have a list of over 100 GPU mineable coins. Right now, it's at 141 that we run through an online randomizer to choose one, and whatever we land on, we try to mine successfully within 30 minutes, so we can switch over to BrandonCoin's daily live stream, which starts at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And let me be really clear here about this particular show. Let me get back on this guy right here. Hang on a second. I don't know why that's happening. Okay. Let me get back to yeah, this show. A lot of people kind of take it as though I'm promoting these coins, and I'm not. This is completely random. I know I pre-record that part, the randomization part, but I do that so that we aren't, just going after a coin and trying to mine a coin that we're not going to be able to mine. Tonight, so I'm basically, long story short, I'm not showing these coins. It's completely random. The purpose of this show is to keep our skills sharp and prepared to mine anything that we're interested in. Before we get started, there's a little bit more to talk about as far as what we landed on tonight. I'll get to that in a moment. But before we get started, I always like to show you what's going on in the market. Had a pretty good little pump over the last 3 or 4 days in BTC. Slight pullback right now, but not too bad. And ETH, same thing. Things are still looking okay, although it seems to be leveling out quite a bit. Also, I like to show you guys what I am currently mining. I'm still mining all Grin, but it looks like probably tomorrow I'll be changing to something else, at least on the AMD rigs. I'll have to see for sure, but I think I will make a change. We'll see if I hit my target for Grin, then I'll definitely change. If not, then I might add another day in there. So I'm still mining Grin on everything. These are my 2 personally owned rigs right here, and then I've got 2 that are co-owned. I own it with some other folks, and they're all mining Grin at the moment. So on the last show, we landed on Coin, which was a kryptonite algorithm coin. We were able to somehow successfully mine it using HiveOS and AMD GPUs. I say somehow because I didn't even go into the miner options. I don't think I did anyway. I don't remember even putting anything in there for the algo or the variant. You know, you typically have to do that with kryptonite coins. Let me just check the chat, make sure that you guys can hear me and everything. Maybe. Nobody's saying that I'm not talking, so that's good. But basically, yeah, I didn't even go into the miner options or anything, and we were able to get accepted shares. So, you know, hey, I guess it depends on the pool and, you know, your basic default configuration for the miner options. So we landed on Coin. We were able to successfully mine it, so that's good. We're on a roll as far as being able to get accepted shares before the end. But without further ado, let me start the pre-recorded video of what we landed on tonight. And I did go ahead and record basically the entire data collection process. Okay, so we are going to go through everything, and the video is going to go through it all. But let me remind you. So we landed on Shield. It says it's a Lyra 2 Rev 2 coin, although it's actually a multi-algo coin. It's got 6 different algos, I believe, that you can mine. But what I was going to say was, whenever I run these long videos, the pre-recorded videos, sometimes my machine crashes. If it does, I'll be right back. Just give me a couple minutes to reboot and everything. Although last night we ran pretty long, I ran a pretty long video and it did not crash. So I'm thinking I might have got that worked out. But if it does crash, just come right back and I'll be back up and running. So this coin is Shield, and don't get it confused with Crypto Shield. Crypto Shield was a different product, and you'll see if you search for Crypto Shield, it's all scammy and stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on with it. I don't think it's even around anymore. I'm not 100% sure. But basically, so Shield is a currency. Obviously, you know, it's a cryptocurrency that you can mine. Let me read a little bit from their website and stuff that I looked at or did a little bit of research. Right here, I'm just pointing to their, they've got a donation address, which I was kind of trying to make a mental note that, hey, I'm going to go to that because I'm going to use that as the mining address, right? Now, something I noticed right off the bat is some of their links on their announcement thread point to nothing, right? So they're like broken links, which is not a good first impression, right? If you're investigating a coin that you're interested in and you go to their announcement thread and none of their links work, you know, it's tough, right? Now, I almost gave up on this particular coin and passed it, you know, as a dead coin or something that, you know, that we shouldn't even try to mine. But I ended up going to mining pool stats.stream, and there are a couple of pools that support it. There weren't very many miners on it, but it is supported. There are people mining it. So I decided to kind of look into it a little bit more and give it a little bit like a second chance, right? I was really close to just skipping over it, but this whole broken websites off of their BitCoinTalk thread kind of annoyed me. Their wallets, you couldn't get to their web wallet. That link was broken as well. But if you read through, I did a little bit of research and I read through some of the BitCoinTalk thread, and right here they're talking about, some of it was talking about it being a scam and things like that. I don't think so. I think that what it is, if you look at their chart, here's what I think. They work off of donations, right? So it's a community funded donation type project, okay? And if you look at their price chart, their history, it shows, I think they went up to 36 cents, something like that, in January of this year, right? That was their height. You'll see it here in a moment, I believe. I think I switched, yeah, see, there you go, boom. So it's like 36 cents or something like that. And then it just straight down, you know, like all the other currencies, it's basically down 90, I want to say it was 99% from its all-time high, something like that. It might be 96, 90, 97, something like that. It's way down there. Well, you know, as things dried up and things kind of took a downturn in this whole bear market thing, I mean, who's going to donate to them, right? So I think that that had a huge impact on whether or not they were successful or not. Maybe early on, if things would have not gotten as bad as they did, maybe they could have survived a little longer. I really think that it's probably a good project. It's probably still valid, because I'll tell you a little bit more about it here in a minute. But it just seems like they've been impacted heavily by the bear market, right? Especially if you work on donations. So so tonight we're going to be mining Shield, or trying to. It's a multi-algo coin. I'm just going to read some notes I have here. We're going to use Lyra 2 Rev 2. Like I was saying, almost passed this one up. It doesn't appear to be completely dead. There are problems with links to wallets and websites and things like that. So what I did want to stress is I would use extreme caution in really dedicating hash power to this thing, to this particular project, simply because of all the little things that I noticed as I was doing the research, right? That I've pretty much already talked about here. It has it's supposed to have instant transactions, which isn't anything too spectacular. It has 6 proof of work algos, increasing security and balancing things out a bit across all of the network. It says that it's quantum resistant, which at this point we don't really know what that means, whether or not it's even valid or not, because of how quantum computers work. And it also has master nodes, and as well as RSK, or rootstock open source smart contracts, which ride on top of Bitcoin, right? Which is kind of neat. They have smart contracts, you know, the open source ones, and they also have what kind of sort of sets them apart from others. Not that they're the only ones. They're certainly not the only ones. But one thing that they kind of were focused on was, or is, I don't know, is or was, I don't know which one it is right now, is social media integration, and being able to have, you know, the different social medias talk to each other and tip and things like that back and forth. I believe send currency back and forth is kind of like what their goal was. And you can kind of see that on their website. It's not, their website isn't awesome or anything, but it's decent. It gets enough information out there. Their BitCoinTalk thread is a little lacking though, because it's basically just screenshots of what appears to be their old website is what it kind of looks like. But as far as the social media integration goes, it kind of remains to be seen how far along they got with that. I don't know. Again, this is just a little bit of research I did. I'm not shilling. This is just me just blabbing about this while this video plays, right? That's pretty much all this is. It does offer some privacy features, and it is based on, or runs off of donations. So again, back to the whole bear market, and things dried up, and I'm sure that their donations dried up as well. And these things aren't free, right? You have to, you know, developers are wanting to get a little bit of money for their time that they invest in it and things like that. So you can't blame them for that. So wow, I think I just literally perfectly timed the end of that. I don't know how I did that. Okay. Maybe I'm getting a little bit better at this. All right, so that is the end. That was the end of the video. So we will now go to here, the spreadsheet, to see where we're at with the data collection. And this is where we ended up. What I did, where I got that address from, the wallet receiving mining address, is from their website. From the BitCoinTalk thread where I was pointing it out. I'm like, okay, you know, right here, you know, mental note. I'm going to go back there, and I did have to type it in, so hopefully I typed it in right. But I said right here, you know, you can see where it says from BitCoinTalk announcement, right? So yeah, I think we've got all the information that we need to actually go and try to mine this thing. So what we'll do is we'll use this Lyra 2 Rev 2. So I'd like to use the Kessel rig, which is NVIDIA. So I want to use that rig because it's Lyra 2. So this is the hardware for what we're going to use. And it's actually this rig right here that you can kind of see at the top. It is running HiveOS right now. So we'll definitely use HiveOS. I mean, I could throw a simple mining USB in there, but I'd rather not have to worry about waiting on it to boot back up and stuff. So I will just press on with HiveOS, and then if we get far enough, maybe we can throw or I can maybe use a different miner and use AMD. We'll see. Lately, we haven't been really able to do a lot of extra stuff at the end because I've been talking so much. So yeah, all right, let's go ahead and get started with this. I'm going to go back to documentation. I'm just going to copy the address because, you know, in HiveOS, one of the first things that we're going to do is create a wallet and all that. So so I'm just copying that address, that wallet receiving address, mining address. And we will go in here and we will click on wallets, because I don't know if that coin is actually in here or not. So we'll just start with a wallet, and we'll go add wallet. We'll start typing. It was at XSH, right? Oh wow, there it is. Okay, so because it's in here, because it's in HiveOS, then that means it's probably going to have some pre-selected pools and stuff. So we'll see if BSod, because I don't know if you noticed or not, but BSod was the pool that I kind of chose off of the mining pool stats, even though there was, I don't think there was any miners on it, but it's still there, right? So we can hopefully still use it. So we'll paste our address in here as plain text, and we will double check that there's no spaces. And of course I've added this on there just for you guys to know that that's where I got it from, and for me to know that that's where I got the address from. So I removed that part because that's not going to work. If you leave that in there, it's going to break it. And then we'll give it a name of XSH. I cannot say that. Underscore YouTube. And then we'll click create there. So now we have a wallet. And now we'll go to flight sheets and we'll type in XSH. It's almost like a tongue twister or something. And then we'll go select wallet. The wallet that we just created.